Hi, I'm Zach with Veurink's RV Center, and I'll be showing you the Hideout 29DFS. Up front, you do have your electric tongue jack. Down and up there, you do have an LED docking light as well. If for some reason your motor were to go out on this, they do give you a manual crank. Put it on there and you can manually crank that. Depending on your unit, you may have a manual tongue jack. Under here, you do have your two 20-pound propane tanks. They are full. You do have an automatic switchover regulator here. As you can see here, you do have a window. If it's clear, you have pressure going to your tank. If it goes red, your tank is empty. You can go ahead and switch it to your opposite tank there. Turn this one off, and you can go get that one changed out. You do have a 12-volt deep cycle battery here. So on your battery, you do have these two caps here. You can take those off with a screwdriver. There is distilled water in there, so you'll want to make sure that you're checking that and that it's just above those plates that are in there. You do have lead plates in there. I would do that a couple times a year. You have your compartment along with your 50 amp. This one is a 50 amp unit. Yours may be a 30 amp. And you also do have a spot for a solar panel. You are pre-wired for that as well. On each four corners, you do have stabilizers. You do get a manual jack for that, or a crank for that. So you go ahead and crank that down. These aren't meant for leveling your camper out, they're just for stability. So you do want to, as soon as they hit the ground, you do want to stop those. I do recommend, they do make a bit for your drill, if that's a lot easier for you. This could take you a few minutes versus, a few seconds to put them down. So this unit does have two gray tanks. So this one here will work just for your kitchen sink. You have the gray valve there as well. On your slide out, you do have rubber sweet seals. They do make a conditioner for that because it is rubber. Over time, rubber does dry rot. You can kind of do your best to prevent that from happening with a little conditioner 2 or 3 times a year. I always recommend every time you take it out to look over your seals. If you see a gap in your seal, clean it off and touch it up. Last thing you want is, a leak. There you go, you have your 50 amp hookup here. Like I said, yours may be a 30. You do have your city water connection for direct pressure, and a black tank flush below that for your black tank. Your fresh water will be on the opposite side of the unit. So down here you do have your black tank valve on the right here. You're always going to pull that one first. So you're going to pull that, allow that to flow out. Once that's done emptying out, you can go ahead and hook a hose up to your black tank flush, flush that off, or flush that out, and then you can go ahead and pull your gray to kind of clean out that sewage hose for you. You do have a cable in here. You are pre-wired for a backup camera. They do give you a full-size spare as well. Here you do have your water heater. There's a Sperma water heater, gas and electric. It does have an anode rod here as well, which also acts as your drain plug. Before you do pull it out, you do want to relieve the pressure in your tank. So on electric, you will have two switches. One down here and one on your monitor panel on the inside. Both have to be on for it to work on electric. For gas, you just have a switch on the inside, which I'll show you shortly. Exterior shower, hot and cold. These caps will come off. If you do want to store your sewage hose in there, it's recommended. On this unit, it does have an outside kitchen. Yours may or may not. Before that, you do have a quick connect here to plug right down in here, just like an air hose. Plug it into place, and you actually have to move this little lever toward the line to open up that. And you will go ahead and put this on high there, and you can manually light that. You do have the windshields for that as well as a little mini fridge for you. That is just $110. This unit does have an outside fireplace as well as an inside fireplace. And they both do come with a remote. Yours may or may not have a fireplace. Here you do have a cable out. So if you want to entertain under your awning here, you could. If you have a TV out here, watch the game. Outside 110 hookup, which is on a GFI. Fridge vent, really not a lot you have to do with that. I do recommend vacuuming that out a couple times a year because it will get dust buildup in there. You do have your furnace vent there. I do recommend not putting anything plastic, rubber, anything too close to that because it will get hot in use. And like we discussed earlier, you do have your fresh fill as well as your drain for that underneath. So if your park doesn't have water hookup, you can fill it up there. That one is pressurized by your water pump. And then you just have your storage compartment in the front here. We do supply you with a 10-foot sewage hose, as well as a safety lock pin and an adapter. If you have a 50 amp, we do give you an adapter to drop it down to a 30 amp, as well as a 15. If your unit comes with a 30 amp, we give you a 15 adapter. So your unit is equipped with MORryde steps as well. So these will lift up into your unit and lock into place. You do have a little pin here on the side. Pull that out, allow you to be able to drop that down. On the sides, you do have pins. If you're on level ground, you know, you can pull it out there and you can adjust that accordingly. So inside here, we do have your monitor panel. So go ahead and hit your awning here a little bit. Bring your awning out. As well as your slide room in and out there. We'll bring it out all the way for you. But up above you do have your levels. So your battery, right now we're hooked up, it's always going to read full. If we're not hooked up, it'll give you an estimate about where your battery is at. Freshwater, black, gray 1, and gray 2. You do have your propane for your water heater. Flip that on, give it about 20 seconds, that'll kick on. Electric, like we discussed earlier, both have to be on for that to operate on electric. Water pump. These are your little accent lights that are in your cabinets. Yours may or may not have that. Awning light, and then your main light switch there. Up above, you are pre-wired for Wi-Fi. You can purchase a router, so you can have Wi-Fi in the unit. Here you do have your thermostat. It works both your furnace and your AC. And you do have the bunks on this unit. Yours may or may not have the bunks. Under there, you do have your water heater. The back of your water heater there. It's good information, you know, if you decide to winterize it. And here we do have the bathroom. Foot flush toilet. With the toilet, I do recommend leaving a little bit of water in the bowl because you do have a seal on there. You don't want that to dry out. Above you do have your fan and vent. And then on the wall over here you do have your GFI reset. Over here you do have your jackknife couch. So for that, you'll just lift up and it'll drop down for you. You also have a little bit of storage under there as well. And then you do have your TV. Yours may or may not have the TV or the fireplace. This unit does have USB ports here. Your stereo, which does have DVD player, CDs, it does Bluetooth. You do have two different zones. So zone A will be inside, zone B will be outside. You can have both of those on at the same time. The remote's here. There you go. You got your fireplace there. Like I said, you have a remote for the inside one and the outside one. As well as this neat feature here. The hideaway wall kind of pulls out there for you for more storage. Here you do have your Dometic refrigerator, gas and electric. Go ahead and put that on. Pushed in will be on automatic. What that means is it's going to go to electric first. With that out, it'll go to gas. On automatic, if you do unplug the unit, it will shoot over to propane for you. Go ahead and turn that off. You do have your microwave, your hood fan. There is a vent on the exterior for that, so it can vent to the outside. You do have your Furrion cooktop here. Nice little blue LED light there. Go ahead and put on that pilot flame. Crank that over. The nice thing about Furrion is that the stove is also on the same sparker. So you go ahead and hold that in for about 20 seconds or so. Let it prime up. There we go. And choose your desired temperature. Down below you do have your vac. So your hose will go right in there. It is located here. You do have your hoses, the manual for that. All your attachments will be in that bag. It may be in a compartment, it may be under your bed. So to remove that, you do have this little tab here, along with your bag, and there is a filter in there as well. So here you do have your U-shaped dinette. So to bring this down into a bed, you can fold your table down. You do have a lock here. Unlock that. And then that will fold down and sit down there just like so. And you can bring your cushions over to make that into a bed. So on this wall, you do have a spot where you can mount a TV. You see the TV connections up above there. You do have the vent up there as well. Over here, you do have a little access to your outside compartment. And then your bed does have storage. Nice thing about this one, it is on struts. Yours may or may not be on struts. It does make that a lot easier for you there. Up above, you do have a smoke alarm. And in the bedroom, a carbon monoxide detector. Then down here, you do have your propane detector. So if you do have a propane leak, that will go off. Any aerosol spray cans like cleaners or even hairspray, that'll also go off. And then by your door, you do have your fire extinguisher.